All right, so now we're going to shift to net play, and we'll start with where you're the net man, your partner's serving. Now, you guys have a technique called the Bryan Bros pinch.
Exactly.
That I don't think a lot of recreational players are familiar with, and it's an amazing technique because it completely frees up the net man to do whatever he wants, regardless of what the partner is doing.
It's just a freelance play. You're not completely selling out and going all the way to your partner's side. You're pinching it. You know, you're making the court look small. You're enticing them to hit it down your line. Then you take it away. So
it's not a poach. It's a pinch.
It's a pinch. You know, you can come here. You know, make the court look small. Sometimes you're trying to bait him to go down your line, and then you go boom, and you're there with the easy forehand volley.
Okay.
So it's just moving. I mean, if the ball goes down the middle, because you've pinched over, then it's pretty easy to take it away.
Yeah, this is a play we use almost every time. We don't do a lot of full switches. We don't run a ton of plays. We just like to pinch, be instinctual, and just make the court look really tiny. To hopefully take their eye off the ball. We're always doing this play. You should always doing it. You know, and a full switch is good too. But I mean, this is the move right to the middle of the court, where it's got to be a perfect return to make you know, Bob hit up on the serve.
Yeah, and if you have a partner who, you know, passive Pete, stays back, isn't playing ball, then the pinch is just you doing your thing, and it doesn't matter what your partner is doing. So you've removed him from the equation.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be ultra aggressive if you're playing with a guy that's weaker than you. Go out and try to end the point as quick as possible. And the pinch play is a good way to do that. You're telling him to make as many first serves as possible. Hopefully serve it down the tee so you're not exposed. Serve it into the body or serve the tee. Hopefully you can do that. And then you're just roaming. You're looking for the ball before it gets to your partner.
So Mike, walk us through the actual technique of doing this. Where do you start?
Yeah, you start you know, in the sweet spot, and you're just making a good move to the middle, and this is just you're just kind of pinching the middle basically.
You see how he started. He started back a little bit, and then his weight was going forward. He's moving, you know, right here, but he's not just standing here in the sweet spot and going sideways. He's moving forward, you know, cutting down the angles of the court in diagonal moves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's demo that. Bob will pretend you're passive Pete, just serve and hang out, and Mike's gonna pinch. And Lee, just go cross court on the return.
There you go again.
Yep. So
it's not a full poach. I just made a good pinch to the middle, and into the point. You know, you don't have to sell out. You know, you don't have to do a ton of communication with your partner. You just take it upon yourself to make a good pinch, and hopefully in the point there.
And if I was standing here like most recreational players, that ball is back at Bob.
It would have gone cross court. He's making the returner uncomfortable. He's making the court tiny. That's what we say to each other a lot of times. Instead of calling a play, I just say, let's just make it feel uncomfortable. Let's make him not feel good. Make the court tiny.
Okay. So if you're the net man, your job is to make the court tiny.
Yep.
Got it. And your serves are kind of going tee here. How does your move? I mean, let's say your partner can't really control where the serve goes. Maybe it goes tee, maybe it goes wide. What are you then? How are you moving? How does that affect your move?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a bad server is going to miss his spot. I'm hoping he can go tee because that just brings me into the play a little bit more. But I'm keeping my eyes way out in front. I'm reacting. If I see him set up with the forehand, I'll pinch this. I'll still close, which makes the lanes tiny.
Yeah.
But I'll pinch this way instead. If he misses his spot and goes out to the forehand.
Okay.
See which way his weight shifts. I mean, if you can see which way he's leaning. If he's stretching out for that forehand, Mike's definitely going to cover the.
But if you close tight enough, and he decides to go cross court, I've still made it look really small for him, the lanes, and I'm here too.
So what's the timing of it? I mean, we've talked a little bit. It's again right as he's coming up with the.
Yeah, I mean,
the swing?
once his shot's coming forward, he's committed.
Yeah.
You know, he's done. He's already made up his mind where he's going to go. It's very hard to change direction once your racket's already moving forward.
So what are the two cues you would look for when you're doing this? Is
I'm
where's
looking for
the
him.
serve?
Yeah. I'm looking for. I'm supposed to know where Bob's going to serve it.
Let's
But-
say you don't, though. Let's say you don't, and
so
you're
when-
freelancing.
When Bob's tossing the ball up, my weight's already going forward. I can tell by the returner if he's getting ready and he's split stepping. My weight should already be going forward. I got
Okay.
momentum going into the net, and then right before he hits the ball, right before he contacts the ball, then I'm pitching in a direction.
Okay.
You know, but if you move forward, you got to have your momentum going forward as he's tossing and he's getting in the right position, split stepping.
And would you recommend, let's say you're not really sure where the serve's going, ahead of time you would decide, well, if this goes out wide, if the serve goes wide, I'm going to cover the alley, and if it's middle, I'll go that way. You already know which way you're going to go. I'm coming forward. Oh, it's T. I'm here. Or, oh, it's wide. I'm going to come over here now. You just pre-plan your move.
Those are the basics.
That
Yeah.
happens a lot. That happens a lot. That's 101 for a pinch.
Yeah.
Those are the basics. Like he said, if it goes wide, he's pinching that way. If it goes T, he's pinching this way.
Got it.
But when you're playing with a weak guy and they're probably going to want to go at him, then you're probably pinching more toward the middle because they're going after your weak partner. So most of my moves will be there, and I'll kind of bait the alley. It's a tough shot to hit over the high part of the net down my alley.
Yeah.
So I'm more trying to in the point because I don't want this guy to hit it.
Yeah, and you'll pick up on the tendencies. If they're directing all
Yeah.
their fire at Bob, then you're going to start just moving all the time
Yeah.
and force them to hit that winner.
Yeah, I mean, you
Make
have to.
them burn you. Make them hit 2 or 3 balls down your line before you have to, start covering that side.
And let's talk a little bit about, let's say it gets into a back and forth exchange here. Now, what do you do? You make that first pinch. Let's say the guy hits a good return and it's now in an exchange.
Yeah.
Where do you move? You got to reset first, right?
Yeah, if it gets back to my partner, I'm trying to be in the middle of the court.
back up.
I got to be moving and shaking, backing up. But yeah, it's my job to make him hit as few balls as possible, and trying to end the point as quick as possible. So I'll sometimes stay in the middle of the court and just say, you know what, you're gonna have to pick a direction, and I'll pick a direction, and hopefully I guess right.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of risk involved. Just basically, I'm going to be shifting over to cover this guy.
If he's staying back there, I mean, if you wanted to play it safe, you could stand here and kind of get in the guy's head and then always pick.
Yeah.
Always pick the alley, and then your guy's going to cover it, and then maybe he sees it after 2 shots. The next time you just stand there, you don't move,
Yeah.
and then you spike it away.
There's a lot of scenarios. When we play opponents, we know what their tendencies are. But when you're playing with a weak guy, yeah, you stand there. If you're in the middle of the court, they're going to have to hit a shot over the high part of the net or just really lace it in the alley.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just be putting up as much smoke screen as possible.
Okay.
And hoping they're taking it off the ball.
Let's let's do a couple things. We've covered a lot of ground. Let's first demonstrate the pinch where Lee, take the return down the line very carefully to avoid the camera gear, and you're going to anticipate that and pinch line, and we'll just see how you put the ball away. That's great though.
I was so close, and I pinched that it became an easy volley.
Yep, that was a winner shank.
Yeah.
Not everyone can hit the severe angle
Yeah.
like Mike Bryan. That seems really easy for him. But for me, I would probably go middle or right through the
So you're
guy's
just going to
feet.
stick it there or right through Mark's feet?
That's more of a percentage play for
Okay.
most players, and that's probably what I would have done.
I was a
But
little flashy. I'm going to go with the bread and butter.
Let's go,
here.
yeah.
go for
let's
the bread and
go.
butter. Yeah, that's
right.
perfect.
Yep, just safe,
Safe,
open court.
through the middle, right behind the net man. You know, he couldn't touch that one. You know, if it was a little bit tougher, maybe he would have gone for a more safe play down at his feet, set it up for the next ball, but that was a put away shot.
All right, so we got a situation very often in rec doubles where it's 1 up, 1 back.
Yeah.
And what happens now with the net man? You've maybe pinched off of the guy's return, but he hit a good return. So now it's just a cross-court rally.
This happens a lot at the rec level, but now it happens a lot at the pro level. With the advances in technology, guys are feeling more comfortable with their ground strokes, and this is a formation that you see a lot, a scenario where there's 2 guys at net on the diagonal and there's 2 guys hitting ground strokes from the baseline. So it's the net guy's job is to, be aggressive, try to poach, but if he can't, it's also a baseliner's job is to, if he gets a short one, to go at the net guy and set up your partner for the put away.
So I'm making a lot of pinch moves to the middle, trying to get it, pinching the alley, pinching the middle.
And we do this drill every day, just off of a feed. Our coach will feed it to the baseliner, and you just play it out 2 against 2. And I recommend rec players do this drill and pros. Feeding issues. See, I pulled him so wide. You saw Mike how he moved way to the left.
Yeah.
He saw his movements shift over. The ball went over there, and I came more towards the center, and Mike went towards the alley and got the easy
I took
ball.
that ball right down the middle, right behind the net guy, and the point's over.
Split the uprights, but you're just moving with the ball and reading it.
Reading the play. Yeah. If you go out wide, you got to follow the ball, track yourself, and then pinch to the alley.
Okay, let's see it again.
Finito.
And it was interesting. So, and just for the lefties, like you shifted over too to favor your shot. We were talking about it earlier with your backhand, but that's one of the reasons you guys play forehands down the middle.
Yeah, I mean, Bob got a wide backhand there. We shifted over as a pair. If you saw Bob hit that, he was almost outside the alley, so I knew that I had to fill up some space here.
Yeah.
So I got a pinch middle there.
All right, here we go. Shoot again. I'll take a little off this time.
And I missed it, but
I don't know how he missed it, but he did.
I think that's a good lesson, though. I mean, like that one, a lot of
I gotta
times.
go middle.
Well, I think just at the rec level, a lot of times if you're just there, Lee is an extremely good player, so he's able to keep the ball more cross-court than your average recreational player. So if you're just filling up that space, you're going to have opportunities to put those balls away.
Yeah, that's the key. I mean, that's why we practice this drill. It's not for the baseliner. We have good ground stroke. It's for the net movement to imagine where the ball is going to be, to stay active, get their eye off the ball, and in the point.
Yeah, and I think everybody watching, if you're not comfortable moving like Mike, this is a perfect drill where it's sort of that safe environment to go practice following the ball and kind of seeing what your results are. Oh, maybe I moved too early. I gotta hold back a little bit and time it a little bit better. But this is a drill like this is how you develop that aggressive net play.
Yeah, we work on this drill every day. I mean, it's a play we see, 50 times during a match now in the pro game. So that's what you got to work on to get your movement oiled up.
Let's talk about a variation of it where you end up having the 2 baseline guys being on the same side.
Hitting down the line.
Hitting down the line, yeah. So we'll put like Mike over here. Now Bob, you're the aggressive net guy.
Yeah. And
so what happens then?
You see this a lot in I formation when, guys down in the middle of the court and the server serves and often the server shifts over to his best shot. So on an ad court situation, the server will shift over to cover his forehand.
Yeah.
So you'll get Mike hitting down the line to a guy's forehand. And in this situation, the net guy can even be more aggressive and even pinch more because that guy's got to hit the hardest shot in the world to get it by me.
Okay.
Which is we call it the dipsy doodle. You can call it whatever you want, but it's a top spin, short angle in the alley, which is pretty much impossible when you're hitting the ball aggressively like Mike does.
All right, let's see how that works.
Okay, go I formation. Go I formation. You hit the serve to me. Do you want?
Yeah, why don't we see how it works? We can see it with
or we can just feed it. You want?
I'll just feed it in.
Okay,
I'll just feed it in. We'll just set up. We'll just construct
set it
this
up.
scenario.
You're going blind.
Yeah. But But put in a ton of pressure. I mean, I thought that was really interesting where you literally were standing here and your move was, you still didn't get it because Lee hit a good shot, but you're right here.
I was putting a ton of pressure on him and pretty much leaving him the only place on the court, which is alley or maybe a foot on this side of the alley, which is difficult. And eventually he's going to break down.
He got it the first time. Second time, it was out.
Yeah, I mean, or he's going to have to hit a great topspin lob. If he does, then I'll just shift over, hit a forehand.
Yeah, sure.
Play
You're not
safety.
that
Yeah,
exposed.
safety.
You're only exposed by the guy hitting the winner, which is unlikely. The dipsy doodle.
Good move.
Yep.
I mean, my option there was to go kind of deep and slow or go for the drop shot.
Yeah.
Ball was below the net, so I picked the drop.
Sure.
And it worked out.
He hit a good shot. I mean,
Yeah.
And as a groundy guy, sometimes I'll even want to go middle. I know that his forehand's strong, so why not go through the middle to his backhand? And we do that against a lot of the clay court
oh,
guys.
like that. Okay.
Monster
And
forehands.
then
Bob
you're making the
really
ground stroke even tougher because he actually has to pull it across my volley
across the middle
to hit
of the
it.
court.
Yeah,
Bob's
because
gonna be
he's
in the
going to
middle.
tattoo
Yeah.
his partner otherwise in the back
So
there.
we'll do a couple of those.
So you almost
Well,
shut him off even more.
Or I'll
yeah.
hit, instead of hitting inside out forehands in the alley, I'll hit him down the middle. See, that's a tough shot for
Yeah.
him. He's hitting his weakest shot
Yep.
across the middle
Yep,
of the
you'll
court.
get shanks like that.
So
I'll let you hit one and then we'll do it again. That was really middle, but
take it again. I hit it too well. Oh yeah, legs are a little stiff.
Oof. Yep.
Sometimes I'll even bait the net guy. I'll hit it a shade to the middle, but almost to the net guy where sometimes I'll want him just to reach out and hit a weak volley.
yeah.
And if he doesn't get it, then he's moving all the way to the middle, the ground stroke guy. And we're in a great position there. I mean, a lot of guys that really can't volley, you're baiting them to stick out.
Yeah, I just got to.
So
yeah.
you're not hitting right at him, you're hitting it just the right length. So a middle shot there would be perfect.
It's like the yarn with a cat trying to get it to
Yeah.
bat at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't know the pinch play.
Yeah.
And they're not pinching in the middle.
Yeah, which most rec players
Yeah.
won't be. Lee, let's have it where don't shift over to hit a forehand. Let him go at your backhand. So and you try it, pull it back cross court like we were originally trying to demo. Yep. So that was the one right there where he's really now tightened
He's
up.
really aggressive. When he sees that it goes to the weakest shot in the middle of the court, then that's when he can really go to the middle.
So that's interesting in terms of your commentary. When it's on the forehand side, maybe Bob's a little bit more
Yeah, I mean-
conservative with his move, but when you get it over to the backhand, then he really takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, that's when you move to the middle of the court, and if he wants to go up the line, he's going to hit his partner in the back.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he's got to go.
He's pretty much, if Mike hits the right shot down the middle, his partner is almost blocked off any angle cross court. So his only shot is to redirect the ball across me. I'm in the middle of the court. He has to pull it past
He's
my.
going to have to hit. He's going to have to hit it out here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of
Yeah.
real estate over here.
So you're using his partner almost as a chess piece against him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a great play.
Sneaky stuff.